Hi, this is Eric Smith. Time to do another quick look video, and I thought I would do it from the 11th chapter of Joshua, verse 20, and the Word of God reads this way. For it was of the Lord to harden their hearts, that they should come against Israel in battle, that he might destroy them utterly, and that they might have no favor, but that he might destroy them as the Lord commanded Moses. In Joshua chapter 11, from verse 16 all the way to chapter 12, verse 24, we have a summary of Joshua's conquests. Joshua was a man of war, he was a man of God, and he was to lead Israel to attack the nation of Canaan and go to battle against them and then take the land. The Lord had given it to them. But in this particular verse right here, we read something that could seem very strange and something that we would scratch our head and question. And that has to do with the sovereignty of God and the providence of God. So I wanted to go over this verse just in case any Christian ever reads this and scratches their head and it's like, well, wait a minute, was that fair what God did? So the first part of the verse is what God did. It says, for it was of the Lord to harden their hearts. So what did God do? He hardened the hearts of the kings and the people in the land of Canaan. And for what purpose? It says that they should come against Israel in battle. So God hardened their hearts so they would literally go and attack Israel. And then what was the ultimate goal? It says that he might destroy them utterly. God was using this providence, this sovereignty, so that they would attack Israel, so God could use the nation of Israel, led by Joshua, to destroy them. And here's God's prerogative. It says, and that they might have no favor, but that he might destroy them. Now notice it says that God would have no favor, and that means it would be no grace, no good thing would come to them, but that he might destroy them, and that was a sign of judgment and justice. And then there's a reminder. At the end of the verse, it says, as the Lord commanded Moses. Because back in Deuteronomy 20, 15 through 17, God promised Moses that they would take the Canaanite cities and list the people that he would utterly destroy. So dear Christian, you might read this verse, and this question might pop into your head. Why would God harden the hearts of the people to attack Israel so that Israel could destroy them? That would seem unfair. It would seem like, hey, they were minding their own business and God moved them to do something so God could destroy them. It seemed like that they're just innocent, minding their own business, but that is not the case at all. And I'm going to explain to you three things in this verse and in all of the Bible that explains what I just read. First, God had promised Canaan to Israel, and these were pagan lands and people that were being judged for their own abominations. They were idolaters that that deserved God's judgment because they desired to be idolaters. They desired to do wicked things. And you can go back to Deuteronomy 20:18, and God literally says that to Moses. Number two, God hardened the hearts of the wicked in this respect. Anything God did providentially led them to naturally do what their sinful minds wanted to do. In this case, attack Israel. When God says he hardens the hearts means the mind and the whole being. And you know what? God could harden it, but not be found guilty of anything, because anything providentially God does can harden a sinful heart. God could bring a sunny day, and a sinful person could be so mad about that it could lead him to do something. Well, God controlling everything, the weather, the circumstances, there's no maverick molecules, like R.C. Sproul would say, that could lead a sinful person to do sinful things. So God could harden the hearts, but he didn't make them hard-hearted, so to speak. They were already sinful. All God was doing particular things, and that hardened their hearts to attack Israel. Now, the Bible verses don't ever go into specific detail about how God does that, but we know that God can harden a heart without being the author of wickedness. And then the third thing, It's to show it is ultimately God that wins the battles for his people. And he could do it in any way that he pleased. He could have literally just had the nation of Israel just attack these lands without hardening their hearts, and it would have still been justice. Dear Christian, as believers in Jesus Christ today, we have to understand that everything is in God's hands. And he can harden the hearts of sinners to do things to serve his purposes for his glory and to benefit his people. And that's exactly what we see in this particular verse. So this was Joshua 11, verse 20. Just wanted to do a quick look. And let this encourage you, Christian, that God is in ultimate control. He has sovereignty. He's providential in the things he does. And it's always going to work out for good for those that love him. As always, if the videos on this channel have encouraged your Christian walk or edified you in any way, but you have not subscribed to my channel yet, and you want to, hit the button. If you want to leave any comments, please do so, but please do not be snarky. Please do not be profane. We want to be Christ-like in everything we say and do. And until we do another quick look, remember that God is a good God. He works in a sovereign way, and he works in a providential way. And we may not always understand it, but it's always going to work out for good for those that love him, and those are the people that are believers in Jesus Christ and believers in God. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and God bless.